You were born on the planet Vegeta. You are a space fighter, a Saiyan warrior.
Hey guys, it's Ash here with WatchMojo, and these are the top 20 greatest anime reveals.
お前は自分のことを何も知らぬのだな。自身の母のことさえも。
For this list, we'll be looking over the twists and story beats in anime that pulled the rug out from under us. Naturally, expect nothing but spoilers from here on out.
Hey Mojoholics! For a chance to win cash prizes, play our live daily trivia challenges every day at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern only at WatchMojo.com/play.
Number 20. Who is Archer? Fate Stay Night's Unlimited Blade Works. The red-coated bad boy of the 5th Holy Grail War, Archer is undoubtedly the slickest servant to ever exist, with his ungodly looks only matched by his skills in combat. So there's no way anyone would even make the slightest connection between himself and the idealistic, pure-hearted bundle of nerves that is main character Shiro Emiya. And yet, they're one and the same, since Archer is a future version of Shiro where he won the Holy Grail War, became a heroic spirit, and now has his own machinations that put him at odds with everyone else.
それがこの俺、英霊エミヤの正体だ。そんな男は今のうちに死んだ方が世のためだと思わないか。
The Fate-verse can be confusing as hell, but this one made newcomers and hardcore fans drop their jaws.
I am the bone of my sword, unknown to death, unknown to life. Unlimited blade works.
Number 19. God Haruhi. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Nowadays, we all associate Haruhi Suzumiya with 4 things: being a brat, rocking out in a bunny costume, headlining 8 identical episodes, and being an all-powerful deity.
The SOS Brigade's mission is to find aliens, time travelers, and espers and hang out with them.
It's as if the whole world had come to a grinding halt.
However, back in the day, this was a shock for those who were going in expecting a high school slice-of-life rom-com. You know, the usual stuff. And then, Kyon found out the abrasive girl in his class is an all-powerful god.
Well done, Haruhi. You got people calling you a god now.
Unaware of her own abilities, and is the target for numerous cosmic entities intrigued by her very existence.
Weren't you sick and tired of the boring world we were living in? Didn't you want something really weird and interesting to happen like I did?
As they say, the rest is history.
If you lose, you're buying everyone lunch after the game!
I know that. After all, the fate of the entire world is resting on my pitching. I guess the world's not worth very much.
Number 18. Darby's Identity. My Hero Academia. There had been plenty of speculation as to who the flame-spewing villain really was over the series' tenure.
お前がいるとは聞いてねえ。
Given his deep-rooted hatred for Endeavor, many had assumed that there had to have been a prior relationship, maybe even a familial one.
俺が勝てるはずねえだろ。安心相違のトップ2相手によ。
Well, they weren't wrong.
こっから見るとどいつも小さくて。
Because during his now iconic dance, Darby reveals himself to be Endeavor's thought-dead son, Toya.
そうやって立派な名前があるんだから。
Driven insane by his hatred for his old man, he's all too happy to set himself and the world on fire to get his revenge. Got to give him credit, he took his moment and made a spectacle out of it. Number 17, Adachi is the killer. Persona 4 the animation. We know, for lifelong fans of the games, this one comes as no surprise. But to those who were anime-onlys and were fully invested in the supernatural murders you and company were trying to uncover, this reveal was a bullet to the soul.
So, there's that. See, some of the guys have a theory.
Turns out Adachi, the jokey detective, is actually a legit psycho who revels in the murders he commits and has no problem using shadows and the TV world to kill his targets, kids included.
Are you really the killer? Does it actually matter if I was or wasn't?
We can imagine that this was quite the shock for the uninitiated.
There's not a thing you can do about it.
Number 16, Dai or Dino. Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai. So what's the deal with that dragon crest that Dai can bust out in moments of crisis? Is it a typical anime power-up or something more hereditary?
11年前に生き別れた我が子ディーノだけだ
Turns out Dai isn't the only dragon knight, and his papa just happens to be Baran, one of the biggest bads the world has ever seen.
Giga Break!
This reveal kickstarted one of the most emotional arcs in the series, fully displaying the tumultuous relationship between the two, which naturally ended in a big fight. Number 15, you're a Quincy, Ichigo. Bleach, 1000-Year Blood War. Just when you thought that Ichigo had reached max level,
バカなこれはブルートベーレか
not only is he a substitute Shinigami with the power of a Hollow, who also spent time as a Fullbringer, but it turns out he's also half Quincy to boot.
お前は自分のことを何も知らぬのだな。自身の母のことさえも。
The mystery of Ichigo's mother is finally laid bare, revealing her to be a descendant of pure Quincy blood, which naturally passed to her strawberry son. Given how much of a melting pot Ichigo already is, this shouldn't have been as surprising as it was, and yet everyone freaked. Number 14, animals are people. Odd Taxi. We've seen our fair share of anthropomorphic characters during our time as anime fans, so we didn't question the notion that we were indeed watching the plights of a taxi driver who just happened to be a walrus. Comes with the territory, right? And yet, the show used that misconception as the cherry on top of what was already a pretty amazing finale.
脳の損傷によって認知機能にエラーが起きてるんだ
The world isn't actually populated by talking beasts. It's simply how Odokawa sees the world due to a neurological condition he gained as a child following a near-death experience.
小高
Odokawa-san.
Number 13, Time Travel. Your Name. The central romance of Makoto Shinkai's arguable magnum opus was so captivating that we honestly didn't think there would be any room left for surprises. But boy, were we wrong.
それから入れ替わった日の出来事を携帯に残すこと。
この謎現象をとにかくも乗り切るために協力し合うこと。それなのにあの男は
As Taki and Mitsuha attempt to navigate their seemingly random body swaps, we were all under the assumption that only distance separated them.
滝くんがいる
But no, they also come from different time periods.
そんなわけねえだろ。3年前に何百人が死んだあの災害、滝だって覚えてるだろ。死んだ3年前に死んだ
It may only be a few years difference, but given how the plot unfolds, this was a punch to the feels that we were not expecting. Number 12, the Plant Typhoon. Trigun. You need to have a quick trigger finger if you want to live in a world that's more desert than civilization, especially one populated with numerous killers. To that extent, we figured Vash and his brother Knives were just really experienced gunslingers who had been hardened over the course of their lives. Couldn't be further from the truth. As it happens, Vash and Knives aren't borderline superhuman, they're not human at all.
Just look at how big they grew in 1 year, it isn't normal! Those kids are monsters, I tell you! Monsters!
They're plant people. Though instead of leaves, they grow doomsday weapons out their appendages. Number 11, Saiyan Goku, Dragon Ball Z. How is this even remotely surprising?
Have you forgotten your pride, Kakarot?
Picture this. You're a lifelong Dragon Ball fan and have only watched Kid Goku take on fellow martial artists along with the occasional so-called demon. Then along comes the sequel series, where it's revealed Goku isn't just a kid with a tail who transforms into a giant ape when the moon is full. He's an alien and part of a race of intergalactic conquerors known as Saiyans.
That's right. That's your name.
For old school DB fans, this was huge. A bomb that laid the foundation for all of Z and future DB storylines going forward.
You were born on the planet Vegeta. You are a space fighter, a Saiyan warrior.
Number 10, Salem Bradley is Pride. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It didn't take long for us to figure out that Führer Bradley was actually the homunculus known as Wrath. He kind of spelled it out for us with his violent antics during the earlier parts of the series. However, as far as his son was concerned, that was a shocker.
セリム・ブラッドレー。あなたは一体何者ですか？この状況で私の正体を聞くとは大した度胸ですね。オープン中。
The fact that such an innocent-looking boy was one of Father's creations was one thing, but the fact that he was actually the strongest and oldest of the homunculi was something else entirely.
私の名はブライド。始まりのホムンクルス。
Child antagonists in anime could stand to take a lesson from this kid.
私はいつでもあなたの影から見ていますから。
Number 9, Natsu is END. Fairy Tale. Of course, it wasn't enough for Natsu to just be a fire wizard and have a dragon for a dad. He's also gotta be the demonic creation of the world's most feared sorcerer.
Igneo. Dad. I have so much more to say to you!
While many a mage and demon were under the impression that Zeref's ultimate weapon, known as END, was some kind of magical construct, as it happens, it turned out to be an acronym for Ethereus Natsu Dragneel.
Perhaps you can surpass me. Try. Natsu. Or should I say, Ethereus Natsu Dragneel.
Not only did this give Fairy Tail's hothead even more hype, but it suddenly painted the relationship he had with Zeref in a totally different light.
Sorry, everyone, but I've got to get way stronger before I can show my face again. So I can keep all of you safe.
Number 8. Ryoko's Twisted Family Tree. Kill la Kill. She may have infiltrated Honnouji Academy to find her father's killer, but she ended up discovering the mother and sister she never knew she had. Too bad both of them had been trying to kill her.
Thanks to that fool of a daughter, I met the last person I ever expected to.
After failing to defeat the global fashion superpower that is Ragyo Kiryuin, Ryuko is given the shock of her life when the maniacal CEO exposes herself as Mummy Dearest, going on to reveal how Ryuko was a life fiber creation that had once been discarded as a failure.
I thought you were dead, but now I know. You are my daughter.
By default, that also makes Satsuki her sister. Ooh, Christmas is gonna be awkward this year.
You're not my mom! You can't be!
If I'm not, how do you explain that?
Number 7. Koro-sensei didn't blow up the moon. Assassination Classroom.
Little did they know, in only 2 weeks' time, the moon would become a permanent crescent.
Given how he can zip around the world at Mach 20, dodge bullets, and could slice a person to pieces with his numerous tentacles, we were fully convinced that Koro-sensei did indeed destroy the majority of the moon as a means to demonstrate his power.
Why did why did she call you a murderer?
Does it have to do with your past?
Turns out the truth is a whole lot more complicated, upsetting, and once again shows that humans are the greatest monsters of them all.
The perfect guinea pig for our experiment if ever there was one. How lucky we are to have found him.
A former assassin turned lab experiment, Koro-sensei was nothing more than a pawn in a pathetic scientist's game, only for the whole thing to fall apart when he inadvertently blew up a chunk of the moon, with Koro-sensei eventually being blamed for the whole thing. Number 6. Hide is alive. Tokyo Ghoul Ri. Look, I think we can all agree that Ri didn't do the best job when it came to adapting this phenomenal manga sequel.
Come on, let's go.
But even still, this moment is palpable to those who have followed Kaneki's blood-soaked journey. Aside from Toka, the one who had always been there to back the one-eyed ghoul up was his bestie Hide, who we all believed had tragically been killed during the events of Route A. Surprise, he's alive. No, God, we missed you, Hide. How have you been? How did you survive? Oh, yeah, that face has certainly seen better days. It's a testament to the character that he can be so chipper even after his mug got mangled.
Yeah.
Number 5, Historia, Attack on Titan. While her sweet nature and overt cuteness wasn't lost on us, Krista wasn't exactly a standout character when compared to the likes of Mikasa, Hanji, or even Sasha.
私の名前ヒストリアっていうの
Then, just like that, she became the thread that held the show together, even managing to earn herself the title of Best Girl in a single shining moment.
Historia!
何が神だ都合のいい逃げ道作って都合よく人を先導して
Turns out that her real name is Historia, next in line to become humanity's ruler, and a pawn to the corrupt plots of the current monarchy. Honestly, without this little lady as the focal point, we wouldn't have had that epic third season.
私はヒストリアレイスこの壁の真の王です
Number 4. Yoshida Shoyu is Utsuro, Gintama. The man responsible for teaching Gintoki the way of the sword, Shoyu at first appeared to be a gentle soul who helped steer much of the main cast in the right direction. A beacon of light during the horror that was their childhoods.
それを私の教え子たちに向けるのならば、私は本当に国家ぐらい転覆しても構いませんよ。
Unfortunately, this turned out to just be a phase, as Shoyu was nothing more than the split personality of the immortal killer, Utsuro.
君は知っている。君の剣は私には届かない。
This kinda persona eventually faded out of existence and was replaced by the cold and calculating genocidal junkie we've all come to loathe. Upon his unmasking, Utsuro went from your run-of-the-mill villain to one of the White Demon's most personal foes.
誰だ？あいつは一体誰なんだ?
Number 3. The Pharaoh, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Given how we were way too indoctrinated by the children's card game that was being flung in our faces, we never really questioned why Yugi had a ghost friend he could switch bodies with on a moment's notice. And for that matter, neither did the cast.
What the? Now, Kaiba, prepare yourself, because it's time to duel!
However, things began to make way too much sense when it was revealed that the being known as Yami was actually the spirit of a pharaoh who had once ruled over ancient Egypt thanks to his bitching hairstyle and mastery of the 3 Egyptian gods.
That's the pharaoh? But that's Yugi!
Thanks to this little addition, the lore of the series practically exploded soon after.
The pharaoh who saved the world was you, Yami. And now the time has come for you to rescue mankind once again.
Number 2. The son of Gold Roger, One Piece. Hard to believe that such a beloved character ended up getting so much development during the final phase of his life. while knowing he was a badass flame user and adopted brother to Luffy was more than enough to earn our admiration. The grand reveal that Ace was the son of the former king of the pirates added a whole other level to his character.
お前の父親は海賊王ゴールド・ロジャーだ
The truth surrounding his birth, the resentment over his heritage, not to mention his conflicted relationships as a result of Roger's blood running through his veins. This piece of family history gave Ace so much substance that it's no wonder his passing hit us so hard.
じじい、俺の親父は白ひげ一人で。
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Kakashi Unmasked. Naruto Shippuden. Yes, it has nothing to do with the plot. Yes, it's technically just a mindless filler. We don't care.
おい、待つんだ。いや、待ってください。
Do you know how long we were waiting to see this iconic mentor finally show his face? It had been teased across countless episodes, but fans finally got to see what the White Fang looked like just as the series was wrapping up.
声色を変えるのは喉に負担が。
Not sure why he bothered hiding it when it's obvious the man is aging like fine wine. It's a little touch and a rather perfect send-off from the shinobi who has been there since the very beginning.
ま、もう2、3回は遊んでやれるかな。
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.